Good morning, everyone. Welcome to our Leveraging Video for Employee Engagement webinar. Just to begin with, I'm presenting today from our Redfern office in Sydney. So I'd like to start first by acknowledging the Gadigal of the Eora Nation, the traditional custodians of this land, and pay my respects to the elders, both past and present and emerging. Now, welcome to our webinar on using video for internal communications. Just to, before we get into that, I just want to tell you a little bit about WebVine. If you're not familiar with us, we're a digital transformation consultancy based in Sydney. We help to energise and transform organisations and their teams by using an incredible suite of tools from the Microsoft platform. We also want to tell you about Ingeo. It's designed and built by WebVine. In Australia, it's a highly customizable SharePoint intranet accelerator. It's a ready-built intranet, which means 80% of the platform is already complete. This allows WebVine to help clients launch a comprehensive solution quickly while still developing a branded, tailored digital workplace. Ingeo sits 100% within your environment, and it's underscored by Microsoft's robust, secure, and innovative infrastructure. So that's just a little bit about us, WebVine, and our Ingeo intranet accelerator. Now, today we're going to be talking about using video as part of employee engagement and internal communications. So now please submit any questions you have during the webinar, and I'll come to those at the end. And we've got a poll or two to work through as well this morning. But our agenda today is just to talk about the new Microsoft Stream features, how to integrate Stream into SharePoint. We're also going to talk about creating great videos cost effectively, managing and sharing videos, and tracking video performance based on some great features in Microsoft Stream. So just to set the scene, we've got a great quote here, which is about human beings are perhaps the best communicators on the planet. Conversation is our evolutionary heritage and our biological advantage. However, we've evolved to share information using our voices and ears, not just using text. And this really highlights, why things like video is such a great way to communicate with people, including inside the workplace. Now, just to kick things off, we've got a bit of a poll here, just to ask you a couple of questions, just to help us understand a little bit about how well you are using video currently. So if you want to just make your choice quickly. So how often do you use video to communicate to employees? Weekly, monthly, occasionally, or never? I can see a few numbers coming in. There's a few people actually that have never used video for engagement or communication with employees. But most people so far are sort of verging around the occasional use. So around 65% of people just responding to the poll this morning are in that sort of category. So I'm hoping by perhaps the end of this webinar, you might think about moving to a more regular frequency of using video. So those of you who are using it monthly or weekly, you're definitely on the leading edge, and hopefully you'll pick up a few tips in this session as well today that might even make that easier to keep up that rate of engagement. So thank you for responding to that poll. We'll keep going. And look, some interesting stats here. It's always good to start with a few stats just to talk about why we think video is a good communication medium. So 40% of employees consider video the most engaging form of communication. Only 1/4 of employees have received a video message in their company. And again, that's highlighted perhaps somewhat by the poll results that you've contributed this morning. I'm going to add as well that Microsoft recognises the value of video communication through Microsoft Stream in particular. And on the SharePoint roadmap, we know there are new video templates coming to SharePoint. So I think they really are showing they believe in this medium, and that's backed up by data and just that, again, that awareness that video communication really is a good way to engage with people. I've certainly observed as well, and I'm sure you have, that our use of social media features the consumption of video content sort of more and more. And I think, I've been around intranets for long enough to know that our online behaviours around social media and the internet are often sort of leading indicators of where people want to be either now or in the future with how you communicate with them internally as well. So if you're in that sort of bucket of people that are only occasionally or have yet to use video as part of your internal communication, this really is now the time to jump on that because, the demand is there for video-based communication. Now, Microsoft Stream is a fantastic platform that Microsoft provides as part of Microsoft 365. It's got some great features. It's improved over time. I'm going to touch on that because I know there's been a little bit of confusion when I've spoken to people about Microsoft Stream, about how it now works. But just from a feature point of view, why is it such a good platform for video? Well, you can record your screen, you can record yourself, as well as adding video content that you might have captured somewhere else. You can then add text, drawings, and effects to personalize your videos. It's got accessibility features as well. So you can have transcripts, closed captions, chapters. It's got features around noise suppression and speed control. So it really is a fully fledged video platform for the enterprise. And then you can share and collaborate using Stream. So you can share videos, exchange feedback easily with comments and app mentions. But really, I think the final piece that really is the icing on the cake for, if we want to advocate for using Stream, is you can also see what's working. You can measure engagement and the effectiveness of your video content with very detailed analytics, which I will show you a little bit later during the webinar. And you may not have noticed some of these features when you're just maybe uploading a video or even watching a video that's been posted on Stream. So let's just go into this in a little bit more detail as well. So you can also, it's got a nice feature so you can record yourself presenting your PowerPoint presentation, including notes via teleprompter and placing your image in a specific spot on the slides with Cameo. So that's the screenshot we've got there. You can superimpose yourself in front of what you're presenting. Once you've recorded that content, you can then distribute your videos across Microsoft 365. So, SharePoint, of course, but Teams channels, Viva Engage, and Office.com. So you can make sure those videos are going to be available where people want to consume them. And finally, and this actually will gets into some of the changes you would have seen in Stream, is that you can manage videos just like documents. So video content is now part of that bigger, if you like, information management and governance capability that Microsoft 365 offers. So security, admin controls, retention policies, and compliance are all now built into the platform, just like you have for documents and other information you might want to store in SharePoint, for example. And if you go over to the Microsoft Learn website, by the way, that will take you through all the different features and functionality that Stream now offers. Now, I do just want to touch on, because I've been talking to people in recent years with WebVine customers, Ingeo customers, and there's been a little bit of confusion, I think, just about what has happened to Stream. You might see reference to this idea of Stream Classic versus Stream Modern or Stream on SharePoint. And what used to happen in the past in Stream Classic is that Microsoft provided a video hosting solution. So it had a user experience that was built around video. All the data was sort of processed and managed in that platform and stored there. And you could also upload different kinds of video content. Now, it was then sort of paralleled, if you like, with what else was happening around Microsoft 365, which was all the other bits of content that you were creating, but they were kind of, Stream was sitting in a bit of a silo. So what's happened now is that Stream is actually sort of built into Microsoft 365 in the sense that where you store your content is actually either within SharePoint or within OneDrive. And just to highlight that, that's really the key difference now, is that Stream used to store content separately, and now we're storing your video content either within OneDrive or SharePoint. And that's what means that we can bring that video content within that governance environment that Microsoft 365 offers. But yeah, that's the big change that's happened in the Stream platform. Now, in terms of then, once you've uploaded your Stream content, you may have recorded it live, you might have done a screen grab, you might have got video content recorded separately and uploaded it into your SharePoint or OneDrive. You want to display that on your intranet. Now, a bit like embedding a YouTube video, for example, or Vimeo, Microsoft Stream, the modern, the new version, has a couple of different options. What I will say, by the way, don't ever just go to the address bar and use that link that's in the address bar. What you need to use is the sharing buttons. So you can get a link to a video if you just want to share that video through a link with someone. But when we're posting video content, in most cases, we're going to use an embed code. So under the share button, you'll find the embed code. You need to copy that and you'll paste it into that little box there. You can see in that final step. And we're just using one of the out of the box web parts here in this example. Sometimes you might need to grab a URL. Again, don't use the address bar. For some, in some scenarios, you actually need to unfortunately, go to this embed little code and just grab a partial URL. If you're a WebVine or Ingeo customer and you're trying to use an application that doesn't support the embed code, just let us know, we can walk you through it. But it's that little bit of unique ID that's on the embed in the embed URL you can see in the screenshot. So that will, though, if you, under normal circumstances, you're using these stream web parts in SharePoint, you get that embed code and you can add this to the page, and then your users can view the content, they can interact with the content on all that goodness. Now, we also offer in our Ingeo Accelerator as well some other options. Sometimes people want to mix and match content, either stream content, for example, and you might have some YouTube videos that you've published to the public audience that you want to share internally. We can also allow you to mix and match those different kinds of video content together. And that can allow you to reuse content you may have invested in for your external audience, but it could be quite relevant to your internal audience as well. So there's lots of different options. Stream's by no means the only video solution you can use in SharePoint, but certainly we think it is a really great platform for internal communication. The other thing you can do as well with videos through Stream is actually embed them into Teams. And again, we know that behaviors of users are changing. Increasingly, Teams has become the start page for people, not necessarily going to SharePoint or even Outlook. Teams is where they go. So you can have video within Teams as well. And again, if you've got maybe an area which is your kind of maybe a whole of organization or a business unit, perhaps, you might want to share some of your video content through a tab in Teams. Now, the next piece we're going to go through is really about creating video content. So, we focused a little bit at the beginning of this webinar really on the idea that Microsoft provides a platform for video content. You can certainly make use of video content that might be hosted elsewhere. So, YouTube, Vimeo, for example, whether you're using out-of-the-box web parts or our Ingeo web parts, we can bring that content together into a really compelling and interesting experience. Again, you can put content in Teams, you can put it in SharePoint, wherever your users are going to be. I think one of the challenges people face, though, is, okay, that's great. We know that people want to engage with video content, but how do I go about creating that content? So I'm going to share a few tips in this next section just around that process. And again, we'll also touch on how Stream also helps you to create content and again, manage what the engagement is you're getting around that content. So the first thing I just want to talk about is planning. It's really important. Don't just go out and just record things. Certainly, you can do those kind of vox pops things. You might go and ask staff maybe for some opinions on something that might be happening in your workplace. But really, it's better to sit down in most cases just to have a little bit of a plan for what you want your video to do. So the tips here are about focus on the message. Clearly define what you want employees to know, feel, or do after watching the video, and keep it concise. So remember, it's sort of that idea of a call to action. You don't want to have super long videos. You sort of, in that, when you have a really long video, you're sort of almost verging into e-learning content, and where you're sort of maybe getting people to watch a video for 30 minutes because they need to understand something quite deep and complex, or you need to record that they've done that. This is all about communication in a quick, engaging format. So focusing on the message, so you keep in mind what is it you actually want to communicate. It helps if you can think about storytelling. So even within a short, 30-second video, 15-second video, something slightly longer, a minute, you still need to think about the narrative that's going to engage viewers and will reinforce the message. I've got a little bit of an example in a little while, and you can see how that can work in terms of storytelling. And finally, script it out. Yeah, it doesn't hurt to actually write down what you're going to say, have a bit of a running sheet, a running order. That can help you to maintain focus and avoid rambling. One of the things you might find if you've not been involved with creating video content together is that you're trying to create fairly short messages, and it's really easy to actually record something that goes on for a long time. It's a lot harder to create something that is short, concise, and compelling. So that's why a script is a really good idea. You can even use actually some of the AI tools. You can script out your message. It can tell you maybe how long it might take to read out. It can give you some ideas, but yeah, have a bit of a running sheet, some kind of script that's going to help you stay within that ideal time frame. And again, keeping it engaging and having that narrative that will keep the users, your employees, from watching the video from beginning to end. So that's the first part around planning. Next thing is production. I'm running this webinar today from one of our meeting rooms in the office. Use your office space, a well-lit room. You might better use a remote employee's home office for a backdrop if they've got a really nice setup. But yeah, you don't have to over-engineer your setup. People are going to be engaging with the people that are talking and other sort of graphic elements or video that you might incorporate into that. Invest in good audio. Because yeah, a basic microphone can significantly improve the quality of your video. And also, if you're demonstrating maybe something new, there's a new policy and procedure, maybe a new app that's being launched inside your organization that you want to tell people about it, don't be afraid to use screen recording. Show and tell is a really good combination of, you can have voiceovers and screen captions, of course, for people who either can't hear where they're watching the video or that they're hearing impaired. So you can annotate as well, but screen recordings are great to do a bit of show and tell. And of course, don't forget to embrace user-generated content. You can even mix and match, your more official, voice person presenting with, testimonials or feedback from real employees for that personal touch. Again, this all helps to make it engaging and authentic. Now, how do you actually then, bring all that together? So the great news is that there are a whole range of different tools to help you edit and create that professional looking video. And we've got a few logos on the screen here of some different options that you might have maybe seen, be familiar with, or you've tried. As I said, the main game here is to keep it short and sweet, definitely under 5 minutes. Some things you might be able to communicate in seconds, 15, 30, 1 minute. It also helps to add chapters and timestamps for those longer videos, so you can break it into chapters so that people can move through those videos and maybe go back and recap if they need to. But obviously, you're going to need some kind of tool to help you pull that together. And again, if you're doing anything other than just a sort of a one-shot single feed recording, you're going to want to edit that video quite carefully. I just want to focus again back on Microsoft Stream, because Microsoft really is packaging up a complete solution for you. Now, what you may not have noticed or heard is that there's actually a really fantastic web-based tool now integrated into Stream. It's called Clipchamp. It works in the browser. There's nothing to install. It's got a really intuitive drag and drop editing interface, and it provides templates and other royalty-free rich media assets, so music, video, and images that you can bring into your video production. You do have to upgrade for access to some premium assets, and there's also a brand kit. So if you're creating videos over and over again, that might be something worth investing in, just to have those assets to hand. And I'm going to say, actually, it's thanks to Liza Tinker, who's one of the team here at WebVine. She has been raving about Clipchamp and has been showing us all the different features. And it's something I missed initially because I'm not creating video content on a regular basis. But now seeing Clipchamp in action, I really am sold on it. So yeah, next time you upload a video to Stream or you're recording something, check out Clipchamp. It will copy your content into Clipchamp. You do all your editing, and then you can post it back into Stream, and you can get a really great outcome. And again, it's really simple to use. And unless you want to access those premium assets, it's already part of your Microsoft 365 setup for you to use. So that's Clipchamp. Now, just to show you, if you can pull all this together, what might an example of a great video that's got a narrative, it's engaging. Well, this is a great example from a US not-for-profit, and they'd recently introduced a new fitness benefit for employees. I'm just going to play this video for you. Oh, we'll try that again, sorry. It got to the wrong end. Let's try it from the beginning.
sweaty after that intense workout. It's such a pleasure to be in this brand new gym. I know many of you have wanted a fitness facility for so long, and I'm happy that it is a dream come true.
Thank you, Joe, and we are very excited, and we look forward to seeing all of you at the open house.
Watch the scope.
So look, it's a great example of an in-house video. I love the fact that there's a little bit of a story at the beginning that kind of sucks you in. You're kind of wondering what's going on. And then you've got two people that are just talking about, just to wrap up that video, again, a very authentic, piece of a presentation explaining what's going on from real people within that organization. So I think, look, that's the sort of thing you can do and more with the Stream platform and using tools like ClickChat. We then get to the point, well, again, just to remind you, where can you share? Definitely you can share on your SharePoint intranet. But don't forget as well, we've got other channels like Teams. And in fact, it's even possible to embed stream video content into email. So there really is no excuse for employees to miss this engaging content that you're creating. You can bring it exactly to where they are working. So again, think about your audience. Are they sitting at desks on the move? Are they working out on Teams, or they prefer email? Maybe even they prefer to see it displayed on a digital display in the lunchroom. So it's all about a multi-channel strategy. Create that video asset once, and then you can share it to many places. And we probably suggest as well, if you're maybe still needing additional resource or time, maybe you need to budget to get a bit of extra equipment, a video camera, a better microphone. Just think about how you might be able to deliver some quick wins using the video tools you have on hand. Aim for those senior influencers in your organization, like the CEO or maybe your HR manager, and see if you can just use some little quick wins just to demonstrate to them that value of using that mix of channels and really getting some engagement through some short, sharp, in-house produced videos using the tools you've got on hand already in the Microsoft 365 platform. I did mention as well earlier that Microsoft 365 and Stream isn't just about the content itself. It's not just a place where you host and share content. The other bit of icing on the cake for me with Stream now is the analytics we get. So there's some information about views, there's information about viewers, and there's also viewership retention. So you can actually understand in quite a lot of detail about how well your videos are performing. Obviously, that's great to know, but the key thing here is actually to take that feedback, take those analytics, and learn from them and feed it into your next video production. So you can really look to understand what gets people's attention. You might like to do what they sometimes do around this idea of A/B testing. You might produce a video in one style and one format, covering a topic, and then maybe you might record a video, create a video that addresses that same topic in a different way. And then you can look at the analytics and maybe see how which approach works best for your audience or for different audiences. The other thing as well that's really interesting, and I missed this the first time around, because actually, depending on the color of your video background, actually, you might sometimes miss that there is this graph here when you're looking at your analytics. But you can actually track viewers' attention across the duration of the video. And that really helps to identify the moments where you get the most engagement and where viewership starts to drop off. So obviously, that can tell you a number of things. Is the video too long? Is there certain information that was either underwhelming or overwhelming for people? But yes, it's an amazing level of detail you get in Stream Analytics through this looking across your video performance across the whole duration. So that's all part of that analytics feature, and you can go and explore that on the videos that you own. So look, here's just to give you an example of a Stream video dashboard with some of the information all brought together. So information about geolocation, so where are they in your organization, usage by device. We've also got things around your lifetime video report, so total views and total viewers, and popular content in the last 7 days. So you can actually build these dashboards again once you start to produce more and more video content, to actually manage video content, in exactly the same way that you might currently be managing your normal static web content. So video content is definitely a first order content type in Microsoft 365 now. It's as important and as relevant as pages and documents. And Microsoft gives you the tools. In fact, probably a level of analytics that you don't even get with Pages right now. So again, there's lots of analytics around performance of videos that you can use to keep improving. We're just moving into the last 5 minutes now of this webinar. I'd love to see if anyone has any questions for us. So I'll just pop over to the questions. So yeah, now's your chance to ask any questions you might have about video. Hopefully you can see we're really upbeat. We think video content on intranets is a fantastic idea. We're currently working with a customer actually where really video is going to be the hero of their intranet. So video content will be the prime, it will use the prime space at the top of their intranet. But yeah, let me know if you've got any questions. And oh, I see we've got a question over here in the chat. So will my old stream videos still work in the new interface? As long as the embed codes are supported, we might have to come back to you on that one, John. But the web parts are definitely designed to work with the new stream. So we might have to check that for you. Another question here, can you embed videos into emails through plain Outlook? Yes, you can. That's the purpose of being able to embed those videos, is that we're going to play them from Outlook. And that embed code will make sure that they're only able to watch the video. So if that video, I think maybe you're getting at, if they forward a video to someone that doesn't have access to SharePoint or where you've posted that content, no, they won't be able to access it. And I've also got a question here is, in your experience, what is the benchmark for video completion? 66% of viewers will finish a video that's under 1 minute long. 39% of viewers will finish a video that's 10 to 20 minutes long. Well, I think, look, this all comes down to a question of what is it you're trying to communicate. You don't want to, I think, communicate on a video something that will take a shorter time maybe to read and comprehend. So you need to really judge and use that analytics feedback to make sure you get your videos, I guess, at the right length and chunk down the content or the topic or the purpose of your video quite carefully. I'd say generally the smaller, the better to increase that video completion. That should be your sort of guide is, yeah, try and communicate. And obviously, sometimes you're going to need to go a bit longer. And that's why we talked about the idea of having chapters. So you might even break your video up into some sections so that people get the key facts at the beginning. If it's a very factual, fact-based communication, and then you can provide more information for people that want that detail. If it's something more promotional and engaging, you really need to hit them with some kind of that sort of idea of a narrative. Get them engaged, and then sort of finish with the fine details if you like. But again, yeah, we don't want to have a video that's longer than necessary. Well, look, we are coming up now, really sort of the wrap up of this webinar this morning. I hope that you have found something or discovered something new about Microsoft Stream that you didn't know about. I hope that you're encouraged to make more use of video content. And look, if you would like help with coming up with a content strategy, maybe redesigning your SharePoint intranet to be more video-centric, want to talk about how you might take advantage of those different channels for sharing video, please reach out, get in touch. If you're an existing NGO customer as well, we can certainly help you with all the existing out-of-the-box and NGO web parts as well to really optimize that video experience for everyone. But thank you for joining me this morning. And look, go out and create some great video content for your internal staff. Thanks a lot. Bye, everyone.